Hello everyone, my name is Detroit Richardson and this is me going over my final project for IT Capstone at Valencia College. Right here, what you have in front of you is the custom built gaming PC that I built myself. That was my final project. Right now I'm giving you the video proof of the finished project, but we're going to go through the steps what it took for me to actually build it. So that's the photo of it in the introduction of building a gaming PC. This right here was actually one of the hardest things I had to do. So this is the mid tower case. It's the 20T 220T mid tower Corsair. This is me laying on the side to install the motherboard. The motherboard is actually, you got the name right there, Prime X5070. And his CPU I will be installing is also the Ryzen 9 5900. So right here is me going through. Make sure you go through the proper steps, looking at the actually how to install the CPU. Make sure you do it correctly, because if that goes wrong, there's nothing else wrong. Now you can see it's actually installed. It's working. At least I know it's working installed because you have to identify it. So now I'll do this new method if I want to install an actual liquid CPU cooler. It's my first time ever doing it, so this one took me quite a bit of a hassle. I installed it perfectly right there, but there's more to come with this thing. Because once I realized I had to install my RAMs, which is also Corsair Vintage Pro, the 16 gigabytes of RAM, I had to uninstall the actual liquid cooler because it was taking up space for my RAMs. I had to actually investigate and see if there's a way, which you can see the RAMs is installed now, see if there's a way to actually install a liquid cooler with the RAMs in place, which it took me about a good 40 minutes to figure all this out. But ultimately, I had to go on to the route of actually switching out those RAMs and using a whole different set. So I used, that's the RAMs I was supposed to use, but I actually had to use the RAMs for my own personal PC. Which now you see I'm still moving around. It took me a lot to move around this liquid cooler to figure it out because the bulkiness from what you call it because of issue. But this is my M2 1 terabyte drive, which you install right at that bottom right there. I also have a secondary spot for it too if you want to install another M2. But this is when I use the Samsung 970 Vizio Plus. It's able to easily remove that case, peel off the sticker for the heat shield, and input it and install that back in. These are the motherboard cables that I had to install. So you got your power, LED, your negative, your positive, your HDD, your reset, your software, your power software, your HDD reset. This is showing that it's being installed correctly. You even get a glimpse of my fat fingers in one of these photos, me installing it. There they go, sausages. But also, I was able to install the USBs at the bottom, which also you see the USBs for the cooler and for the fan lights. Now this is me installing the GPU, which the GPU is actually Radeon. I forget the full name of it, but it's a Radeon GPU, which it actually doesn't even have. You know, most of them you have to plug in with SATA cables or hook it up to the power source, but this one didn't need it. So that was pretty cool and efficient. This is everything plugged in correctly and actually fitting. As you can see, I had to switch to the black RAMs, which would fit because the white one was too bulky. And also this prime over there, the left side, the inputs where you stick all your like your Ethernet and everything over there. That was the bulkiness for stopping the liquid fan from being seated all the way to the rear, so I couldn't do that. But that being said, that's the full video. Thank you for your time and have a great day.